Big time, nighttime pools are always at Los Alamitos with early pick 4 pools of more than $175,000 on most nights. And a late pick 4 pool of more than $150,000 on most nights. Plus, our pick 6 pools have reached record figures in 2025, including several total pools of over $300,000 this summer. Even record pick 6 payouts. It's the track of sunsets and stars. Los Alamitos Racecourse.
And welcome everyone to the Los Alamitos preview show. I'm happy to be joined by a very special guest, Ed Burgart, the legendary track announcer here at Los Alamitos. And Eddie, welcome to the show. And you're going to be calling the races here this weekend at Los Al. Back to your old stomping grounds. That's got to feel good once again, right?
It always feels good to come back to Los Alamitos, and glad to be able to fill in for Michael Rona, who did a terrific job on opening day at Kentucky Downs. And good opportunity for Michael. He loves to go back to Kentucky Downs, and I always like to come back and obviously see you, Orlando, see Dr. Allred, see Kathy. And I call races, you know, as well as anybody, that I call there from, I think, 1981 until 2019. Said I would never come back and call a race again, but after a couple of years, my arm got twisted when Michael had heard when I was on FanDuel one night that sometimes I miss calling the big races, and it gave me the opportunity to come back and call, I think it was the Los Alamitos Championship about 3 or 4 years ago. And now I come back every time he takes a little time off. So always a good opportunity for me as well.
No doubt. And most recently, you were here for a stint on FanDuel, working with Ulises Gomez. You were tremendous. Once again, the two of you formed a fun team. So that must have been a lot of fun as well.
It was, and I want to compliment. I even told Ulysses on camera, he's done a terrific job as an analyst. He's got a good personality, and he offers a lot with his past riding career. And he's able to talk a lot about horses warming up, and he's got a good eye for horse flesh, and he has a good presentation, very positive attitude all the time. And I think he's been a great addition with Jose Contreras hosting those shows. The two of them make a really good team. So I was glad able to fill in when I think Jose went on a cruise that weekend. So he gave him a little time off, and I was able to come down and have a good time as well myself.
Everything you said about Ulysses is spot on. He's doing a tremendous job. And continues to grow, and definitely a star on the rise as far as being his presentation on TV and everything he brings to the quarters and FanDuel. A lot of fun to have him on, and we're very happy that he continues to do a tremendous job here representing Los Alamitos in the quarter horse racing action. Well, we have a nice card on Saturday night here at Los Alamitos, and of course, it's going to be a big weekend. All around the country. Pacific Classic is on Saturday at Del Mar. What a tremendous field. They have put together journalism, NISOs, fierceness coming in from back east. That's going to be a tremendous race. One of the better classics in the last few years, from what I can see. And of course, this Labor Day, the All-American Futurity, all those big races at the Downs at Albuquerque, we're actually bringing in some simulcasts from Albuquerque. That's always a tremendous Monday with all the action they have going on there. But Eddie, we also ran a big race here at Los Alamitos last Sunday night, the running of the Go Man Go handicap. No one studies a race. Nobody can recap a race as well as you do. What were your thoughts on watching the Go Man Go?
Well, I was obviously impressed with Scoop's Dynasty, the way he came out of the gate. And I watched his prior race when he beat KJ Desperado and looked like he was coming back to himself, but I wasn't so sure he could parlay that victory to Los Alamitos. I think Scoop's Dynasty got a little bit sour here. If I recall, he was in the Champion of Champions that 1 year, got very fractious in the gate, didn't break. He broke behind the field, and he never really came back and ran to his capabilities until recently. So he was able to come back. I thought Impressum had every chance to win. Looked like he made him a little bit flat off the layoff. He made that run, and listening to what the rider of Scoop's Dynasty said after the race, he thought Impressum was going to catch him if it had been a little bit further. So that was Impressum's first start back. With the age of 7 years old, he's entitled to get beat a nose, and he's going to be very dangerous down the road as well. So I thought both of those horses gave very good efforts.
And those two horses have dominated the running of the Go Man Go. They've now won 2 of the last 4 years, 2 each over the last 4 years of that tremendous race. And I know you've called some outstanding Go Man Go winners over the past few years during your career. That was a fun race. They've had some nice duels with those two, Scoop's Dynasty and Impressum. So I'm looking forward to seeing both of them. I think Impressum's going to get better. Scoops Dynasty looks to be back to that form that he had as a 3-year-old and as a 4-year-old. So hopefully we're looking forward to seeing them in action down the road here at Los Alamitos. Well, down the road here at Los Al, we have that nice 9-race card at Los Alamitos here on Saturday. So we're going to take a look at some of the races. I know you have a nice play, a nice horse to watch in race number 6. These are 2-year-olds. We have a lot of nice 2-year-olds in action on Saturday night. So I'll go ahead and I'll bring up the past performances for that race number 6. And here it is, a bunch of horses that have yet to win, but several have shown a lot of promise. And we're also mixing in some first-time starters in this group. Tell me about this race, Eddie.
Well, the first-time starters obviously are Corona Speed, Up a Lazy River, and Panama Legacy. Of those first-time starters, the one that caught my eye the most is my second selection in this race is the 4-horse Up a Lazy Rivers. Out of a mare called This Boogie Fires, who's produced a bunch of good horses. This Boogie Fires won first time out as well, and dropped Boogie Boogie, who's won over $200,000. And the Mike Castleman barn's been on fire by Favorite Cartel Up a Lazy River. Was in training earlier this year, but I really liked that workout back on August the 9th. And if Up a Lazy River can run anywhere close to that work and improve upon that, might be able to give Morningstar K a run for the money. Morningstar K is my best bet of the night. Been waiting for this horse to come back. Had the rail last time out. Didn't break. Kind of got forced inwards before they reached the gap and made a huge run the final 16th of a mile. What I like about Morningstar K, getting better and better with each race. I like improving horses at this time of year. And I think the other horses that have race experience, Mental Math and Boogie Now, the 1 and the 6, they've already shown us what they can do. I don't think they're going to get any better, but I think Morningstar K is a horse on the way up, and I think Up a Lazy River is the best of the first-timers.
Well, let's take a look at some of these horses that you're talking about, starting with Morningstar K, breaking from the rail here on this race, August 2nd. These are fillies in action. And again, Morningstar K will break from the rail. And I'll kind of let you, Eddie, kind of give us a look at what you see as these horses are going.
Okay, we'll take a look at the break here as Morningstar K broke probably about 3/4 of a length slow, but right here gets forced in when the 2-horse shifted inward. Look how far in Morningstar K went at the 8th pole. Was probably about a length behind, maybe a length and a quarter at this point, but makes up a lot of ground here the final 16th of a mile. And watch Morningstar K pass the wires, just loaded with run against a pretty sharp winner. Morningstar K is just galloping out with huge strides. So I look for Morningstar K now moving to post position number 6 to be able to improve. Each start's been better than the previous one, so I think Morningstar K is certainly a horse on the way up.
Yeah, and we kind of see that pause as the camera pauses the horses crossing across the wire. But then when he goes back and catches them, Morningstar K is already on the lead in that gallop out. So a big gallop there from along the rail for this Juan Aleman trainee. We see it here, and then when they catch up, two of them, look how much ground already Morningstar K has made up in that gallop out. So that's your top selection there in race number 6. But we'll also have a gate work. Up a Lazy River, working from the inside post.
And we'll take a look at the Up a Lazy River's workout here in just a moment. It's by Favorite Cartel, so certainly as the breeding broke well in here, but watch the horse kind of drift inward early. We'll take a look again at the workout here on Up a Lazy River. Broke sharp, then starts to drift in. The rider's just kind of taking a hold of the reins there and letting him run off, and now the horse levels off, and it's got big strides here the final 50 yards, and is kind of pulling away with the rider here late. So I think Up a Lazy River has a lot of potential, and Up a Lazy River was just loaded with energy past the wire. So that's the horse I think Morningstar K is definitely going to have to beat. So I'm going to probably select Morningstar K as the horse to win, make an exacta box here of 6 and 4, Morningstar K and Up a Lazy River.
Yeah, nice overall gate drill for this runner, making her first start out here, and you can see kind of just slightly drifting in. And as you said here, leveling out, and look how well she is going here, well within herself, all the way to the wire. So that's going to be Up a Lazy River here in race number 6, the number 4 horse. And again, Ed Burgart's selections for this race: the 6, Morningstar K, and an exacta box with the 6 and the first-time starter, Up a Lazy River. 6-4 exacta box for the Grade 1, Ed Burgart, here in on Saturday night. Well, Eddie, I know you still got a lot to pack up, getting ready for your visit here at Los Alamitos. You're going to be here for 2 weeks, right? Calling the races?
Right. I'm going to be coming down. Actually, I come down a day early this week. I'm going to come down tomorrow. I got to take a little time to honor a very good friend of mine who passed away here about a week and a half ago. He was a steward, Jimmy Dreyer, who rode a lot of great horses before I started calling races at Los Alamitos. Rode Charger Bar and, of course, was famous for Go Josie Go and several horses prior to that. But Jimmy was a longtime friend. There's going to be a celebration of life for him tomorrow down in the Los Alamitos area. So I'll be there for that. And then I'll be out, obviously, to call the races on Saturday and Sunday, come back the following week. And I think the following week, we have the finals of that one Golden State Derby. So I'll be able to watch some pretty good horses run in that finals as well.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Defending champ and favorite Just Hawk after that tremendous trial race that they had, only noses apart, separated, and we know the style of defending champ. He's gonna finish super strong, and the thing is, he's breaking a lot better this time around. And favorite Just Hawk, just a very solid horse. So yeah, that is happening Saturday, September the 6th, and I'm very glad to hear that you are gonna be paying a visit to that celebration of life for James Dreyer, the great jockey James Dreyer. So thank you for sharing that with us, Eddie. We do miss him already a lot.
Yeah, the strange part was I was just talking to Jimmy probably on the phone about early part of June, and he was at home at that time, and it sounded like he was getting a little bit stronger, but I know he had some setbacks after that, and we got to be such good friends that his mom lived to be 102 years old, had a home up in Prescott. And when I was living up in Prescott Valley, Jimmy gave me a key to his house, which said, tell me to check on it periodically, make sure everything was okay. So, we had a pretty good friendship going there. So certainly a big loss for Los Alamitos, and Jimmy became a good friend of mine as well. So, certainly going to miss him.
Yeah, definitely a great part of the history of Los Alamitos Race Course. So a big loss for the industry as well. Well, Eddie, thank you so much for taking the time to visit with us on the preview show. Looking forward to spending more time with you this weekend. Maybe tossing one or two cold ones at the bar named in your honor, Burgart, here at Los Alamitos. Thanks so much, Eddie.
Okay, hopefully the stewards will let me go. I haven't had a workout in 7 months now, but I think I'll be okay to come back and call the races.
It's like riding a bicycle. You'll do a tremendous job as always. Thank you so much. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back with George Duarte and Chris Wade.
The best of quarter horse racing is always at Los Alamitos with back-to-back weekends of major stakes action. 2 sophomores face off in the Golden State Derby final Saturday, September 6th, led by the powerful finisher defending champ.
Defending champ, photo close.
Followed by the PCQ HRA Breeders' Futurity on Sunday, September 14th.
The devastating performance by Toby Sis. The Lady of Avant prevailed.
Big-time stakes action at the track of Sunsets and Stars, Los Alamitos Racecourse.
I don't know why it's not taking up the full screen. All right, so we'll go ahead and catch up on the trials from last week. We already talked Go Man Go with Burgart. We visit Country Cowboy Country 1-2-3 with a winner, and just touch base on the trials just a little bit. Just give me one horse that kind of impressed you during the trials, and then we'll go ahead and go into your pick.
Can you hear those guys talking? They were talking while you were talking.
I hear like a little muffled, but no, not really.
They should be gone, but
Yeah, that's fine.
that should be all right.
All right, I hear a little. Okay, here we go. It'll be fine. And we're back with a preview show. Happy to be joined now by George Duarte and Christopher Wade, coming off of a busy weekend of action here at Los Alamitos. We just talked with Ed Burgart about the running of the Go Man Go handicap. We also had trials to the PCQ HRA Breeders' Futurity. We had the Sgt. Pepper feature handicap won by Lethal Cowboy 1-2-3 as he prepares for the trials to the Los Alamitos Super Derby. We'll start with Chris Wade. Chris, how are you doing? And tell me about one horse that caught your eye on the trials to the PCQ HRA Breeders' Futurity.
Well, this weekend, of course, it was Toby Sis is so very, very impressive. A horse, a big-bodied runner, just the 2 victories, and broke well and finished even better. It was long gone all over and was very, very impressive with run left to give. It was a great night of racing, but Toby Sis stamped her on my to me for one to watch off that last effort, and bred to be a runner, and that she is.
And George Duarte, George, you gave us a winner last week on the show, Cowboy Country 123, and he also happened to qualify to the PCQHRA Breeders' Futurity. So was he the horse that caught your eye during the trials?
I think Toby Sis is the most obvious one. But yeah, I liked how he won. He won convincingly again. He won handily, looked better, easier than looked. And I'm really looking forward to the final. I'm hoping he draws well because that's who's going to be my pick as of right now. Also, the Go Man Go was a good race. I hinted I didn't use Scoops Dynasty, but I hinted that maybe he liked that change of scenery. He needed to get his head right because he looked like a different horse this time. He was very professional. He was very professional. I appreciate that the connection stuck with a rider that rode him over there. You know, they could have easily gave him back to either like a Cervantes or somebody from here, but they said, all right, he rode him, he won. Let's give him a shot here. And I enjoyed that they did that. It hurt my bankroll because I had Kevin Weiss Corona. I thought he was going to hold on at the end there, but he got run down.
Yeah, and it was kind of cool to see, to meet Jacob Enriquez, but also his family. He came out with his family. His two daughters were there as well. Super happy. It's always great to see the family welcome back the winning rider, especially someone that maybe was picking up his first win here at Los Alamitos. And I noticed Jacob Enriquez had a nice, very successful time during the trials to the All-American, actually qualified a few horses to some of the big races on All-American day of qualifiers earlier this month. Of course, we have the All-American Futurity on Labor Day. So I might ask you later on the show if you have a selection already. If you're already looking at a horse, it could be in the Derby, it could be in the Futurity. I know Chris is all over those big races, those big simulcast races as well. Well, let's take a look at the Saturday night action. 9 races on tap on Saturday night. I know you guys have your pencils all sharpened because you're going to give me some winners here at Los Alamitos. Let's go ahead and start with Chris. Chris, your selection for the Saturday night program. What race?
My selection is going to go in the 7th event this weekend, and it's going to be Miss Perry's Cowgirl. This horse did run a very good race with much trouble in that Remington Park race. Shipped in and had a look at the outcome, but broke slow, was bumped back, and was crossed and locked and loaded behind horses. Got beat a length, but had more than that with trouble along the way, and now draws the advantageous post 6 in a 6-horse field. So no excuse with a decent getaway expected. Hopefully, horse has a big look at the outcome to show the ability of this one. We know this one has, but it's had been much trouble. Both the last 2 starts, one at Remington and one here at Los Al. So a clean getaway puts the horse in the mix there in the 7th event, second leg of the Lake Pick 4.
And fairly flying. Horse here, number 4, 7:02 in the morning line, exiting some nice races. One at Los Alamitos here, also competed at Remington Park, Oklahoma Derby qualifier at Remington Park. But that just gives Miss Perry's Cowgirl maybe a chance to go off at a good price. She's 2-1 right now in this race, Chris. Again, maybe the familiarity from running a good 4th against some horses that we're very familiar with, Mambasita, Exploiter, Cutesy. And this horse also competed at a high level at Remington Park last year, including running in the Oklahoma Futurity, finishing 5th, and has done well in those big trials over there at Remington Park. Well, let's take a look at the replay, Chris, of Miss Perry's Cowgirl. This is a race on August 2nd, 300 yards. She's going to start from post number 6. I'll go ahead and hit play, and we can talk through this race. Again, she's breaking from post number 6.
Yeah, you can see she back bobbles and she brushed away from the gate, and she's slow on the stride, and she's crossed the final half of the affair, and she's finishing very well in between horses here. Starting out very strong. You can see she's under a hold there. She got beat a length for the whole thing, but she had a good amount of trouble, and she galloped out pretty well. So I'm going to give her a look to redeem herself With anything close to decent getaway, she's got a big look at the outcome, especially from post 6 of 6. So clear path expected, no excuse. If she runs to her ability, she's got a big look there in that 7th event.
And of course, one of those horses in that race, like I mentioned, Exploiter. It's a familiar horse, familiar name. Won 2 races back, ran second in this race here that we're watching. But again, it looked like she almost lost her running room. It was starting to get a little bit tight there, but Miss Perry's Cowgirl kind of put in a little surge there at the end to regain that room, finishing 4th in that race. So again, that's going to be Chris Wade's slice of the pie selection for Saturday night. Race 7, number 6, Miss Perry's Cowgirl. So George, you are up next. Who are you going with on this Saturday night card?
It's the same number, just a different race. Race number 5, the 6. Miss Happy. I'm going with the price. I'm happy to see it's 5-1 because usually Burgart burns me with the video replays and gives me a lower more line. So I'm happy to see he put this one as I think the 2nd longest shot in the race or 3rd longest shot in the race. And and that's the price that she should be. I really like the replay. She is facing better horses than she faced last time. I just think she has a lot of upside, and she draws really, really well. I think the one concern is her lack of keeping a straight path. When we watch the replay, you'll see what I'm talking about. And then in her work on April 9th, she also did that from along the inside. So that's the only concern I have. But if she maintains the straight path, I think she's going to be right there.
Okay, let's take a look at that replay for number 6, Miss Happy. We're going to show the head on, something a little bit different here. And George, she's going to break from post number 4. I'll go ahead and rewind it a little bit more, and you can talk about Miss Happy here breaking from post 4.
Yeah, she gets bumped at the start, and then you'll see her lug out away from the rival, bump that rival back, and then keeps lugging out and then I think she makes contact with the other horses late right here, bumped again, and then she still finished well to get up at the wire. And just, despite all that trouble, she still prevailed. I like the gameness. I like how she showed she galloped out in front. So this is the only concern is maintaining that straight path. But I think she has way more to show. And 2-year-olds has been the right play has been playing prices in the 2-year-old races, and I think she's another price. And if you look at the field, I respect the favorite, the 3, who is very quick and has Eduardo Nicasio, and I respect it. And I think it's the most likely, threat for her. But I really like she's drawn outside of Carver Stake, who tends to break in, lug in, so she should get that nice clear path on the outside, and she's gonna hopefully unleash that late run to get up. I'm disappointed it's in race number 5 because I can't really do any pick 4s, so it's gonna be a pick 6 and pick 3 play for me. And but I'm really excited to see Miss Happy. One of her siblings ran 3rd in the stakes, so there's breeding there with the mare Heart's Delight. I like how Willoughby he progresses these horses. They keep getting better as they age. I just expect another step forward, and I think she has a really good shot. And also in the race, in that race that we just showed, the 2nd place finisher came back to win by a length and 3/4 in 15:69. So that also shows the race was sort of live, and there's a lot of things that point to her. She's on the improve. A lot of these others might not be as showing as much potential, and that's why I really like her.
Yeah, you look at that time, 15:87, and all that trouble. She would just break straight with nothing hampering her. That may have been a 15:60 clocking or something.
Yeah, if you just say 1 length of trouble, that's going to be that puts her right at 15:70 or 70ish. And then if you have a 15:70 compared to these, that fits very well. And then especially only in her 2nd start, you see these other runners have 5-6 starts. So you can easily see the progression that she should make. And I just think she's going to be good value. I'm really happy about that. Hopefully Miss Happy's making me happy.
So that's, again, George Duarte's selection in race number 5, number 6, Miss Happy. I got to talk a little bit about race number 4 because that, to me, is the feature race of the night. Look at this field, race number 4. It's an allowance event for horses that have not won 3 races. So Not only have they already maybe broken their maiden or won in a trial race, they've gone on and won again. So let's start with the one, Scary Flight. And look at those victories coming in a trial to the Ruidoso Futurity by a length and 3/4 at 350 yards right off the bat, and finishes fifth in a $100,000 consolation to the Ruidoso Futurity. Then wins at 440 yards by 3/4 of a length for trainer Mark Jungers, Tungsten Racing, Hazel Howlett. Scary Flight is definitely a horse with racing power. The only thing will be first out here at Los Alamitos and the rail. So, George, with that kind of combination, first out at Los Al and breaking from the rail, is that something that scares you?
Yeah, it scares me at 9-5. It wouldn't scare me at 3-1, but at 9-5, it's not a horse I can single. I know Eric Valenzuela from out there. He always has him ready to go in May. He really does really good well early on. So I'm sure he was very disappointed when they canceled the meet because he's one of those that likes to thrive in these early races. So I know he has this one really ready to go and I expected to run good, but this field is really good. This is a trial-like race. This is basically a trial, how you would expect in the upcoming Golden State Million. Like the horse I really like that I talked about, Cowboy Country 123. The lone loss came against a horse in this race, an Apolitical Reason MV, who has done nothing wrong in his starts. And that's she's the one that I ended up picking in this race just because I just really like how she runs. She has progressed really good. Her winning in her second start going 350 yards is pretty impressive to me, especially at Los Al. And I think this is probably Zamudio's best 2-year-old. And the only concern is that it is a prep for the Golden State Million. How cranked are they going to be ready? And that's might be the reason you can go with Scary Flight because, he just came out of an All-American trial. So, he's at they had him at his peak fitness and ready to go for that trial. So, and then he ships in, gets the elevation drop. So just the rail. The horse had the outside, I would say he's probably winning. But the inside is what makes me want to go against him.
And it seems to me that Mark Jungers, he points for races, and he's gonna get if it needs that little tiner of a race, he'll give it to them, just like how he did with Lethal Cowboy 1, 2, 3. But he's got that big race in mind already. Like
I like that he did this instead of a work. A lot of them will put a work in them instead, and he's like, no, I'm gonna give him a race instead of a work, which I like.
Yes, some seasoning, some more experience with horses being around. Because now that horse will have the experience of having drawn the rail, so for those big futurity trials later on in the year. Cowgirl Nelly, 8-1 on the morning line for trainer Jaime Gomez and Irving Lara. And how about Irving Lara? Very quietly putting together a really strong meet, winning at 20%, Irving Lara. And he rides for a lot of different trainers, Jose Flores, Jaime Gomez here, and just so consistent this season. 100 mounts on quarter horses, 20 wins, 12 seconds, 19 thirds. And it's not like if he's riding all the favorites in every race. So got to give a tip of the hat there for Irving Lara. There's a 3 Political Reason MV, 4-1 on the morning line. So you're getting a nice price on this filly. The mom, Reason to Fly MV1, the Millie Vessels is a 3-year-old here at Los Alamitos. We'll have the Millie Vessels in a couple of weeks here at Los Al. But this nice filly coming up of some really nice victories. Won a trial to the Edberg Million Futurity against Cowboy Country 1, 2, 3, like you mentioned. And most recently won an allowance event against Sunday Rain, who you're trying to beat with Miss Happy in the next race after this one, race 5. Val Baby for Jose Luis Valdez. An owner that is just such a tremendous supporter of racing here at Los Alamitos. A lot of the horses that he runs, he bred himself, and he comes out here a lot to root on his horses. Val Baby, horse on the improve, has posted some really nice efforts against Philly, especially. Nice time last out, 1577. There's Separatist Tornado, a horse that began his career with back-to-back victories, ran 4th in the Fred Skane handicap to Beyond Repair. 10-1 on the morning line. You give him a chance, Chris, Separatist Tornado?
I'll give him a chance to get a piece of pie on the Emmys because they got a good group of horses here. I'll give that Separatist Tornado a look here. to get a piece of the uneasy exotic pie.
Okay.
It's all factored in.
Number 6, BP Hail Mary, a stakes winner. Won the Laco Bird as a restricted grade 3 race at Remington for Bill Price. And we know Bill Price. He is one of the top breeders in the nation. BP Cartel Policy. CC Policy is the mare that produces a lot of these nice horses for Bill Price. He's had some really good stallions. He has just a very, very strong program. BP Hail Mary ran third in a trial to must have been the Rainbow. Yeah, it's got to be the Rainbow Futurity. Ridoso skipped the trials of the All-American Futurity and did post a gate work here at Los Alamitos on July the 30th. That was a 12.3 drill, and I do have that workout. So let's see if we can take a look at BP Hail Mary. It was a solo drill. There she is. She's going to scamper a little bit of the gate. But what I really like is she gets, under a handbrake a little bit here. But look how professional she just looks. She just looks like a horse that's just so comfortable, well within herself, can certainly just strike even longer and more if the jockey just pushes that button and asks for a little bit more. I thought she looked pretty professional. I don't know what you guys. What do you think, George?
Yeah, she's very professional. She's the horse I just forgot to mention. She's hit the board in every start. It's one of the rare shippers where the rider is also a local rider. So then you get that, that comfort level. I know Lindolfo is going to be excited to get a big owner as Bill Price is that out there. So I know he's going to be trying extra hard, and he's really close with Ayala. So they're gonna be trying their best to show Bill Price why Lindolfo should be training his horses out here. And I mean, it draws well. I mean, that's probably the one I think is most likely the winner. But I really high on that Zamudio horse, so that's why I like that one. This one is, you can see her. She's really precocious. She's on the smaller side, so she's going to enjoy this 300, 350-yard races. That's probably why they skipped All-American. I don't think they think 440 is in her wheelhouse.
Chris, you got to see that workout twice. What grade would you give her? Are you giving her a STTTTTT?
She galloped out strong. She broke very professional. She broke well, skied a little head cocked sideways, but she finished well within herself and finished nice. She galloped out very strong. I gave her a solid A-. So very professional horse. And Adolfo's going to be giving all she got here, trying to provide Bill Price with a nice runner here. And he's looking to prove that he can get the job done with quality animals. He's doing a great job with the quarter horses. And this is got a big look at the outcome here as one of my selections there in tonight's fourth race.
Yeah, no doubt about that, about Lindolfo Diaz. And wrapping up the field, number 7, Hog Rod. He was one of the top candidates to win the John Deere Los Alamitos Juvenile Challenge. Just didn't get it done on that night. Broke slow and tried an IoT, Rondon Walk, High Octane. They ended up battling for that win with Trident IoT coming out on top. 5-1 on the morning line, draws that outside post, gets that flipping halter along with Scary Flight. Scary Flight's also going to race from a flipping halter, I should say, in race number 4. So that's the feature event here at Los Alamitos on Saturday night. Real quickly, let me see if I can bring up the overnight for Sunday's program, just to highlight a couple of races on the second part of the card. Race number 7 is an allowance event, 6 runners in there, just keeping it going. Cowboy Reason MV, Relentless Trick DB. Relentless Trick coming off of a victory, if I remember correctly. Either way, won the qualified to the Kindergarten Futurity earlier this year. If you look at the 8th race and the 9th race, Three's Company caught Just Flaming as well. In the 9th race at 110 yards, Heather Denise is a fast runner. Hold my beer and watch this. Didn't we just see him last week at Los Al?
Yeah, you ran against Lethal Cowboy.
Yeah, and how about Cuz Lightyear? All-American finalist. He's going to try just to sharpen that speed at 110 yards. Up for everything, the Sprint Stakes winner. And he's a good reason. A grade 1 finalist. So the 110-yard race, some big names here. One of the better 110-yard fields that we've had in a long time with the likes of Cuz Lightyear and Up for Everything. So just wanted to highlight really quickly, we do have the Sunday card already drawn, 9
Yeah, in the
races.
sixth race, we have a horse that I think is pretty one to watch, and Hot American Badass. He got the outside post this time after a little bit of trouble from the two posts. So I expect a much better effort. I'm assuming he's going to be favored. I haven't really gone through that field yet since I haven't had time. But that's just looking at on paper. That's the horse I like. I expect a much better effort. He's from the Juan Alamán barn. He's out of Pandorum, so I expect a much better effort from his last start.
Yeah, these entries are hot off the presses. So go ahead and visit our website, losalamitos.com, for a lot more information on Friday morning about this car. We'll have the morning line. We'll have comments from Chris Wade as well. Speaking of losalamitos.com, we always post our consensus selections there on losalamitos.com. I finished last. Okay, let me just start with that. I was such a slow start, but I did get Toby Sis. I did get that one. I went against everybody else, and I did get Toby Sis. So that made me feel good there. George, solid all around. You had a couple of exactas, maybe even a trifecta.
Well, I started off good. I had the trifecta in the first race, and then I hit a lull.
And El Príncipe, for the second consensus in a row, El Príncipe takes the cake and finishes first. It was tight between Chris Wade and Joey Porters. You guys both put up excellent selections out there, Chris. So that's a look at the weekend card here at Los Alamitos. 7 p.m. first post on Saturday night, and of course followed by the fun racing program on Sunday. Chris, George, thank you for all your time. Thank you for your selections. Wish you a lot of luck. And for all our fans out there, have a good day. Bye-bye, everyone.
The best of quarter horse racing is always at Los Alamitos with back-to-back weekends of major stakes action. 2 sophomores face off in the Golden State Derby Final Saturday, September 6th, led by the powerful finisher defending champ.
Defending champ photo close.
Followed by the PCQ HRA Breeders' Futurity on Sunday, September 14th.
The devastating performance by Toby Sis. The Lady of the Vamp prevails.
Big-time stakes action at the track of Sunsets and Stars, Los Alamitos Racecourse.